The U.S. election is the most important topic in Ukraine today, alongside the war. Americans are a key ally through which Ukraine can resist Putin's criminal policies. Whoever wins, for Ukraine the important thing is aid, and right now it depends. So maybe after the elections this will change. I previously thought that maybe Harris would be better, but as I talked to friends from the U.S., they convinced me that only Trump can realistically make a difference. Trump, only Trump, is a man like you or me, a politician who can be trusted. Similar voices can be heard on the streets of Kiev, even if some Ukrainians fear a new person in the White House, meaning Trump's victory. The resentment and distrust towards Harris is stronger. If Harris wins, there will be a continuation of what is happening now, which means they will talk a lot and do nothing. Our future depends on what happens on the 5th of November. Will it be as it is, or will there be radical changes? The Ukrainian president is not revealing which candidate he is in favor of, although he definitely mentions Trump more often than Harris, and has recently become increasingly critical of the current aid from the West, and therefore primarily the aid from the United States to Ukraine.
I didn't hear that he said that he will cancel and will not support Ukraine, but of course we don't know who will be the president, but of course we understand all the risks, what can be. The biggest risks if the policy of the United States will change. And between us, I don't know who will be the president. It sometimes doesn't depend only on the president's will. I think we have to count on bipartisan support, on Congress, first of all.
Meanwhile, criticism of the West's aid strategy to date and the need for change can also be heard from Americans involved in real aid efforts in Ukraine.
So whatever the Western strategy is, I mean, you have to be honest that it failed. But again, I'm not a pundit or anything. I'm just like a person who's here helping friends. But yeah, I feel that, this entire process has been mismanaged because I feel it because of the number of funerals I've been to, and that's very painful. It's sort of like when you're involved with people directly, you feel the pain of war.
Such voices coming from Ukraine will certainly not gain votes for Democrats and Kamala Harris. Instead, they are an opportunity for Donald Trump. If we also analyze previous elections, more than 63% of eligible Ukrainians living in the U.S. voted for Trump, and the same was true in the even earlier victorious 2016 vote. I don't think this will radically change. Most Ukrainians vote for Trump, not because he is so great, but because they are generally rather conservative. In my personal experience, from talking to members of the diaspora, they see Trump, who first gave Ukraine a gun, as much more determined than the Democrats. The Ukrainian community in the United States is not as large as that of Poland, but with fierce competition, it too can influence the outcome of the election. In Pennsylvania, one of the so-called swing states, Ukrainian Americans make up more than 100,000 votes.